Welcome everyone, out of the woo here. I just saved you from that foliage and that greenery. You're welcome. It's my second channel, daily blog channel. It's the Daily Pine Tree. And just like old man Peabody, when Doc Brown was telling the story, he had this crazy idea about breeding these pine trees. Did I say palm trees? I meant to say pine trees. I'm in California, which is the land of palm trees. But nevertheless, let us not forget about these tiny, beautiful buckets of goodness. Pine cones blossoming on a pine tree. It's the DailyWoo Saturday edition. Old man Peabody did not own this land, and old man Peabody did not own what you're probably seeing in my reflections. That is right over there. I'm talking about today's subject, today's DailyWoo, an unedited vlog I do every single day that I have not missed a day yet, and I'm approaching closely to 1,000 days. I'm talking about the subject matter of today. This built in 1942 during WW2, World War II. This magnificent, humongous airplane hangar was created. And from what I read online, it was actually built out of wood. And I do not know if it is actually still being used, but just look at the magnitude of this. The size, the impenetrable fortress to house an airliner, an airplane, or multiple amounts of airplanes. War planes, if you will. Do you want to talk about physical strength? Do you want to talk about the Olympian ideal? You are a god! And if anyone knows what quote that is from, feel free to leave a comment down below. I had to think about it for a second because I did not want to screw up that line from one of my favorite Gene Wilder films. What is more impressive than a humongous, gargantuan, insanely large piece of World War II history right here in Tustin, California? The answer would be very clear. The answer would be, well, if there was more than one of these, then that would make it better than just a singular piece of awesomeness. And you are in luck if you are wishing for a secondary piece of enormous, fantastic, kind of abandoned. I don't know if it's abandoned. You guys do some research and let me know if this is actually still used to this day, or if it is actually abandoned and just sitting here for all to enjoy and to basically use their brains and try to comprehend why something like this still exists if it is not being used. Would it be left basically for historical purpose? Would it be basically just to start up a conversation? This would be a huge conversation piece, if not one of the biggest conversation pieces here in Tustin, California. I've been a little bit, getting a little bit off track. What I was trying to say is, what would be more amazing than one of these gargantuan, fantastic, 1942 created out of wood pieces of majestic scenery? That would be another one. 2 of them. And you are in luck, sir, ma'am, and children, because look, just around this corner here, we are going to reveal, we are going to unveil a secondary piece of goodness. Look at that right there. Can you see it? Can you see that right there? There is another airplane hangar off in the background. I need to cross this road. We're actually doing some sort of construction over here. There is not a walkway, so I'm going to take it upon myself to hopefully not be jaywalking. I don't know if this would actually bring a jaywalking charge upon me, but I hope not. There is a car coming here. So let's wait for this car to pass by. All right, always look both ways before crossing the road. No one is coming, so now we are actually going to actually walk up on this property. You can see they put this fence up, which is basically to keep vehicles through here. But obviously they do not have a problem with pedestrians, people walking around in this area. So we're actually going to walk back in here and see if we can get a closer view of this. Oh, look, there's another one of those little snaky things that you guys described the other day when we were walking the dried riverbed. You guys actually left some good comments, some factual knowledge that I did not know about what those little snaky looking areas are for. There's an apartment complex over here, which I'm not sure if is open yet. Actually, it looks like it is actually accessible because there are some cars in there. There's an airport. Obviously, this is part of an airport because if airliners actually used to actually utilize these facilities, there has to be some sort of a runway around here in Tustin. And there is a now leasing balloon. See that little now leasing balloon that's kind of above the apartment complex? What kind of a view would that be? That would be a pretty fantastic view if you were actually living on the second or third or the fourth floor of this apartment building and you had this to look at every single day. Here is the question I have. If someone lived in here, how many people on the percentage, on the average, if you will, that live next to something like this, do the research or even care enough to want to know the backstory and the history of this? I do not know the history of this. This is where I'm hoping you guys chime in by leaving comments or posting on my Facebook, my Twitter, or my Instagram, letting me know what this history is, the backstory of this is. And I'm being very tongue-tied because I'm reading this where it says, warning, keep out. Trespassers will be arrested. California Penal Code Section 602. Luckily, we are on this side of the fence. We do not want to go rooting around in there. You can see they have it boarded up. There are some windows that are boarded up over there. This building is really, really rusted out. You can see how the water over the years has actually rusted out the side of that metal building. But from what I read online, and I do not always trust everything I read on Wikipedia or in blogs or newspaper articles, you never know what someone is saying is true. They said that this was actually built out of wood. What do you think? Do you think this was actually built out of wood or was it built out of metal? That is the question for you today. Man, I really probably should have got something to wet my whistle, something to actually consume my thirstiness before I started this vlog. I actually parked across the street. You see where there's a Lowe's there. There's also a Target and some sort of a mall, an outdoor mall area. I parked my van over there and just walked across the street because, as you can see, this road is blocked off to vehicles. Unless you are working in the construction field, you are not allowed to drive your vehicle through here, or I'm guessing maybe if you live with this apartment home, you are allowed to drive in here. But there is no parking, so that's why I had to park across the street. All right, I'm going to give you guys a moment of quietness now, show you this awesome area, a little history in Tustin, California, Southern California, if you will. Let's enjoy the ambiance of these magnificent man-made creations now just sitting here. I'm assuming, you know what they say about if you assume something? That's right. You make a hack out of yourself or something like that. What is the saying? Don't post a comment down below because this is a family-friendly show. But what is that saying? If you know it, leave some sort of subtle hint if you know what the saying is about assuming something. But I am assuming that these are not in use anymore. I'm just assuming that they are abandoned, sitting here, just relics of goodness. World War II, I should say. Goodness here in Tustin, California, underneath the Tustin sun. Moment of quietness. Man, I am really incoherent today. Please remind me to drink some caffeine before I start doing these vlogs. Moment of quietness starts right now. going to interrupt the moment of quietness because look, there are some vehicles right there. So obviously the interiors of this are being used for something. There's looked to be some sort of official, either government official or property official, some sort of vehicles right there. And look at this. Look at the sign on the top portion of that last vehicle. On the actual concrete pillar, it says, "Beware, rotor blades." Can you see that sign? Red sign on the far pillar. It says, "Beware, rotor blades." And just imagine the magnitude, the size of the airplanes that actually went inside that hangar. Those rotor blades would be big enough to pretty much destroy anything in its path. So if you're going to beware of something, definitely beware of the rotor blades. And one other thing, one last thing. Look at the breathtaking view of the mountains off in the background. That is awesome. All right, I'm gonna let you guys go. Have some things to take care of today. Have some errands to run. Trying to get some stuff for the home. Trying to do a thing called, I posted this on Twitter last night, Tiki Side Yard, hashtag Tiki Side Yard. My roommate Tyler Evans, rock journalist, and I are starting the side of our yard. We have a little porch on the side of our home that we are renting. We're trying to make that kind of tikied out. Got some chairs last night, purchased some chairs from an inexpensive place by the name of Big Lots, which is, they have like furniture store, Big Lots furniture stores out here. So I got some relatively inexpensive furniture, outdoor furniture for the Tiki Side Yard. Got like a little overhang that came with the house. So we're starting that whole area. I wonder what else I should add into the Tiki Side Yard. So today that is my mission, to find more stuff for the Tiki Side Yard, because I have not had a home in a long time, and I always have this philosophy that I am slowly starting to relearn, that you always work better, you always research things better, you always have a better mindset, not a madra, but you have a better, clear head if your environment is very organized and clean and calm and tiki-ish and relaxing. And that's what I'm trying to create for my home and Tyler Evans, the rock journalist, known as my roommate. We are trying to festoon the side yard with goodness. It's a little personal insight into what I'm doing today. But I wanted to stop off here. I wanted to drive down here to Tustin. I've been wanting to check these out for a while. A lot of people leave suggestions by leaving comments, not only down below, but also on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, the social networks that you can find down below. If you have any sort of suggestions that you want me to visit, sort of like these, I got this suggestion from one of you that are actually watching, and I really appreciate all the tips, the advice, the comments, and the ideas that you guys share. So if you want to be one of those people who help out with these daily woo, unedited vlogs I do every single day, please chime in down below. Remember, if you have not subscribed, please do so. It's absolutely free, not only to this channel, The Daily Woo, but also my main channel, the Adam the Woo channel, YouTube/Adam the Woo. If you have a YouTube account, just click subscribe here, then go to YouTube/Adam the Woo. Subscribe to that, and that will keep you updated on my life, my adventures, and it will bring us closer together as vicarious friends, a vicarious family, kindred spirits, if you will. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys later. Also remember, check down below for my t-shirts, adamthewoo.spreadshirt.com. I'm really filling your brain with all kind of facts, figures, and knowledge, and goodness. I'll see you later. Look at those bike riders, look. Man, did you catch those bike riders? There was like a whole herd of bikers, kind of like from Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the beginning of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, when the bike riders are riding bike, and then Paul Rubens' character, Pee-wee, rides by and wins the race. All right, goodbye.